Hi guys, thanks for watching another episode of Nadia TV, and today I wanted to share with you how I make my kale chips. I have already made a blog post about it with the recipe, but I wanted to share the process with you because it can be overwhelming for people who have never tried doing that. And I'm making my kale chips in the oven today, so it's easier for people who don't have a dehydrator to be able to make them and have a healthy snack as a healthy chips for your kids and your loved ones. So I'm going to use these two beautiful bunches of kale, and you know the kale is basically a superfood. It has a ton of different nutrients and enzymes, especially when it's raw. When it's cooked, of course, we're losing the enzymes, but a lot of vitamins are still staying. And one big tip, I'm gonna go now and wash it and separate this beautiful green from this green stem, but never do I throw away this stem, because once this is separated, I put the stems in my fridge, and tomorrow morning when I'm making my green juice, I'm going to use these stems, so nothing is going to be wasted here. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this kale. I'm going to separate the pieces, probably this big, from the stem, and wash them and throw them in my dry. I'll bring them in here with that thing, so you'll be able to see. And then we'll go from there. Back with some kale that I washed, and I brought it in my salad spinner. That's the one that I'm using. It's very simple. You just do this, and basically it dries up your veggies. So I like to use that for my greens because then they're not covered with water and they're still clean. So now I'm taking this kale, and you see the pieces are, you know, about this different sizes, but this is about the sizes of kale that you want to have for your kale chips, right? And you throw them in a big bowl. This bowl is not too big for the amount of kale chips we're making, but it's okay. We'll be able to deal with that. So, and this is the sauce that I made for my raw zucchini spaghetti, and I'm going to use this sauce now over these chips. So we'll be able to make some cool chips that's gonna have a nice cheesy sauce on it. So at this point, I'm just going to pour some over because I'm going to mix it later. So you don't want to actually add too much, because it's okay if you're going to have some left over, because this is a very versatile sauce. And then I'm going to throw on some of my seasoning. Oops. Made of seaweed, a little bit more herbamare, and some more of nutritional yeast. And I'm gonna link how I made this sauce, and it has nutritional yeast in it, but this will give it more of a cheesy flavor that's gonna stick to the chips. So this is gonna be like cheesy kind of kale chip, which is really fun. And I'm gonna add a little more olive oil, just so that they're all covered in it. So now comes the fun part. Now I want to mix it all, and obviously I'm going to get very dirty doing that, but there's no fun in cooking, right, unless you're getting dirty. So I'm just going to make sure that all of my kale is massaged with this sauce, and it has some of the oil and sauce and this fun goodness on it. And you can add whatever you like to it. So if you like red pepper flakes, for example. Excellent addition to this. Some people just like black pepper. You can throw in some black pepper in here. Just make sure that they're all separated and covered, because sometimes you end up creating like clusters of kale that's all stuck together and there's like a bunch of sauce in the middle. This is not gonna bake very well because we're talking about making it in the oven. And it is much better, of course, to make it in the dehydrator. Absolutely 1000% better. For not only the reason that it comes out much nicer, but mostly for the reason that it is much healthier, because dehydrator temperature doesn't go high enough to kill the enzymes. And the enzymes is actually what we're after when it comes to eating vegetables. So that's why it's so important to eat a lot of raw vegetables, and not frozen and not cooked, but actually raw, because it has a ton of enzymes in it that your body needs for all its vital functions. And no other type of vegetable, whatever way it's cooked, when it's heated over 110, 140, 110, 140 Fahrenheit, it basically becomes, the enzymes already die at that point. Some vitamins remain, but the enzyme content at that point is very different than in a raw vegetable. So very important to eat raw vegetables. Don't forget about that. And baking it in the oven is not the same. But if you don't have a dehydrator and you want to have kale chips, I would still do it, because I still feel like it's better that you have kale chips than you're gonna go out and buy some questionable potato chips or corn tortilla chips made out of GMO corn for the most part, and cooked in some other very questionable vegetable oil. So because I don't like that and I'm not for that, I'm making these, and I wanted to show you how to make them not in dehydrator, because dehydrator is very easy. You basically do the same thing, but you just throw it in there for several hours, and it has a timer shut off, and it will just shut off after whatever timer you set up. Take about 5 to 8 hours depending on the heat, and then you'll have your kale chips done. But you know, here you have to watch out, and the oven is gonna cook the side ones faster and the middle ones will take a little longer. So put it in on as low of a temperature as you can, and it's better if it's just gonna cook slower. But again, because we're going above that 110, 140 Fahrenheit, we're already gonna kill the enzymes regardless of the temperature. I would not blast it at 400 degrees or something, but anywhere between 200 and 300 is good. And we're gonna throw it in the beginning for the first maybe 15-20 minutes, watch it, and then we're gonna take out the ones that dried out on the ends, and keep the middle ones and just spread them out. And then it will take and then put it in again for another 10 minutes. Take out the ones on the sides of the sheet, of the baking sheet, and then they'll be good to go. And then the middle ones, you spread them out again so that they dry out. And then after a few rounds like this, it maybe will take a total of about maybe 40 minutes. You'll have a batch of kale chips that are very yummy. And yeah, I hope you will enjoy the chips, and thanks so much for watching. And I'll link here my recipe also on my blog so that you can see it, but I wanted also to show you how to do it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye.